now. Welcome to love, welcome to peace, welcome to our community. Be who you are, let your light shine. We're so much more when we unite. You are welcome here. You are welcome here. See with new eyes, allowing them
Donna's
flow.
gonna open.
Embrace and let go. Trust the flow. There's a freedom in love when you follow your heart.
Good morning.
Together
How you
we're
doing
strong.
today?
Could ever be apart. No matter who or what you call yourself or where you come from, yeah. There is a place in this world with open arms right now. Welcome to love, welcome to peace, welcome to our community. Be who you are, let your light shine. We're so much more when we unite. You are welcome here. You are welcome here. Breathe in and out. Slowly feel all that's around you. All that you feel, all that you know. Let it go. Welcome to love, welcome to peace, welcome to our community. Be who you are, let your light shine. We're so much more when we unite. Yeah, when we unite. Oh, we unite. Yeah, yeah. When we unite. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You are welcome here. Love is welcome here. Peace is welcome here. You are welcome here. You are welcome here. Grand risings, everyone. Grand risings, grand risings. Why do we say grand risings? Because to some of our brethren back home in Jamaica, to morning. I mean, come on, we're not mourning, right? We are rising every morning. So why not just say grand rising instead of morning? It sounds better. It sounds more lifted up. Fantastic. Well, welcome to Center for Spiritual Living Ocala. And our mission here is that we embody and share truth principles and spiritual practices that empower us to awaken to the power and presence that lies within and all around us. Guess what, y'all? Sometimes Reverend Cindy likes to get up here and put us on blast. Do y'all feel that sometimes? Am I the only one that feels like she's looking right through me? It's like, please don't look at me. You're telling the exact thing I was crying about this morning. But we embody this, and we share these truth principles, and when truth is in front of you, you go, ah, and everything else dissipates as a result. And then what happens? You awaken to the power and presence that lies within you. And then you start to see that power and presence all around you, even when the lie, the great lie that says we're all separate, keeps jumping up and down and carrying on. But we do this. Why? So we may facilitate spiritual healing and the elevation of not just you, but the collective. All of us. We all want to be elevated. I know I do. And that is why we come and we gather together, which is awesome. And here you are. Our vision is that we are a thriving New Thought community dedicated to spiritual growth and practice. That's why we show up. That's why we're watching it online. Hello to our online people out there. Thank you so much for joining us this rising. We are dedicated to spiritual growth and practice, sacred activism, and the transformative love that reveals our interconnectedness and oneness. This transformation is the difference. It's not change, y'all. We're not here to change you. Change comes back like the seasons change. Transformation, think oak tree versus seed, can never go back. Butterfly versus caterpillar. That is what we're facilitating here. And how are we doing this? Thank you, baby. She's working on balance, y'all. Let's all encourage her as she's working on balance. She's crawling and standing right now and working on learning balance. Sacred activism is the intersection of consciousness and action. It is a place where prayer and service activate love and spiritual principles become our lived practice. Is how we show up in the world. You're a beneficial presence. I would like to know that when I leave, my memory is said with joy. My story is said with wonder and curiosity, and it is passed down past my own generations that I have provided here, that people sing about me later. And how do I do this? I line up with certain values. It's who I am, it's who I strive to be every day. And if this is who you are, I encourage you to say them with me. If you whisper them, it's okay. If you say it out loud, if it's okay. If you say it in your head, just affirm it to your body right now. We chose them together, so say them with me. Wholeness of spirit, spiritual and personal growth, collaborative, synergistic community, abundance and prosperity, love and compassion, appreciation and gratitude, peace and balance, power of freedom, diversity and inclusion, generosity. And thank you so, so very much for that. And today, like I said, my sister in Reverend Cindy Grimes likes to put us on blast. So here we are going from drama to empowerment. Just the topic alone makes this chakra right here start to go, oh boy. It starts to tingle a little bit. So Reverend P.J. Stanley taught me this thing called generating state. To generate state is for you to set your intention into where you want to be. What kind of presence do you want to take up for this next moment as we step into the learning experience, into the remembering experience that Reverend Cindy brings us into? She is the waitress. Her face is the waitress, but spirit is speaking to us today, spirit to spirit. So as we generate state, I invite you now to just take some breaths. Ground your body if you need to. It's helpful if you're somebody that learns in a tactile way. Move your body a little bit. Get your form ready for it. All right. I invite you now to take a full breath out. Empty your form fully. And receive the next deep breath. Fill up the vessel. Hold it. Empty the vessel. Receive the next breath. Empty the vessel. Receive the next breath in the most gentle way. Allow your body to balance and breathe naturally whatever comes to your form. Recognizing that your breath is what connects you to all that is nature. Recognizing that nature is everything, and it is also you and me. It is that which is not what we call nature, but that which is inside of it, outside of it. I call this energy life force God. So this living life force is here, present, always. life made manifest as me, as you, as Reverend Cindy today. Thank you so much for every person that is present to hear these words. May it bounce from my eardrum into my heart, through my form and out with my actions. May I learn and grow and express the beauty that is my life, that is God, that is love, that is joy, that is peace in this moment in time. Settling fully and being fully aware in our body again, I invite you to come back to the room. Look around at nature, staring back at us. Be thankful to the trees for the beautiful oxygen we are receiving. And to every employee at Ocala Electric Company, may you feel my love for the AC today. Ashe, ashe, my sister, Reverend Cindy Grimes. Thank you.
How about, oh yeah, okay, all right. I'm on now. Good morning. Yes, good morning and welcome everyone. You all are such a beautiful sight. I am Reverend Cindy Grimes. I'm the inspirator of our center, and we have a couple of first-time visitors, yes? Yes, and another one there. That's right. Anybody else in here, first-time visitor? Well, welcome to our space. We're so glad to have you here. And I feel pretty sure you're going to get some value. Everybody's going to get some value. I'm really excited about this. I know Donna said we're talking about drama and accountability, and sometimes those don't feel like good things, like good words. So don't feel like I'm putting you on blast, I swear. I don't know your business. I really don't. I just, I know you got drama. I got it. We've all got it, right? Yes? Yes, we all do. All right, so we're going to, so excited. We're going to go through this because what we're talking about today, I really believe is the key to the spiritual journey and the path. You know, and some of you know this stuff. You'll know this already. A lot of you are going to feel like, oh yeah, I've heard this. I'm getting some affirmation. And for some of you, there's going to be some new stuff. But we're all here learning together. And so buckle your seatbelts. Don't, I swear I'm not putting you on blast. So what is this thing? Drama, the no drama zone. I feel sometimes like I want to have this sign with me. Like I have a no drama zone. Anybody else want like a no drama zone in their life? Yeah, yes, Norma's face says it all the time. No drama zone. Don't bring that mess around here. But one of the things I like to do is to define. We need to define what we're talking about because drama might mean one thing to somebody and something else to somebody else. So here's what we're saying. Drama is all of these things. And this, I don't know, I got this from Urban Dictionary or a couple of different places, but drama is exaggerating or creating unnecessary conflict or stress. Yes? Okay. Drama could also involve manipulative behavior and attempts to provoke reactions from others. Y'all seen that? Okay. Good. It can manifest as overreactions or emotional outbursts. Anybody seen that? I remember a little girl in my son's class when he was in kindergarten in the Montessori school, and something happened to this little girl. I think somebody maybe took her toy or ate her lunch or something. I don't know. She went, why? Why does this happen to me? Why did you do this to me? It was so beautiful. As an illustration, right, of how we can be so dramatic. And I've often wondered what happened to that little girl. She's 30 years old this year. Why? I hope she's not doing that anymore. Drama, the focus on being right and seeking external validation than connection. You know about people that would rather be right than be happy? That's drama. Often involves blaming and vilifying other people, right? Making somebody the bad guy. Yeah? Or yourself sometimes. Maybe somebody else is making you the bad guy. So the information I'm sharing with you today starts with this, the dreaded drama triangle. Has anyone ever seen that or heard of it before? Great. So 1968, Stephen Karpman. You know this? Yes, you are. In fact, I have some right here. I don't know if I have enough, but we can make some more if we don't. Yeah, you don't need to take notes, take pictures, all of that stuff, because it's all in the handout. Yeah, so the dreaded drama triangle. 1968, this guy came up with this idea. Now, a lot of other psychologists and therapists and people like that have taken his work and done things with it. So I chose one for today that I feel like really works for us in spiritual community. And I see a lot of wisdom in it. So the dreaded trauma triangle starts at the bottom with the victim. The victim, why me? And see how the triangle is? The victim is at the bottom. And that as a structure isn't real stable. You know, like you can't put a triangle on its nose like that. It will tip over. And you see that the rescuer and the persecutor are on the other corners of the triangle. They're one up from the victim, right? The victim's down here, and then their persecutor and their rescuer is up at the top, one up from them. Do we have enough copies? Great. Okay, so that is the dreaded drama triangle. Victim, persecutor, rescuer. This also seems to me like the norm of the world. We talk about paradigms a lot here, and I think in my experience of the world is that this is kind of how it goes. Everybody at some time or another is in one of those positions. Yes? Yeah. Well, we bust paradigms here. We want to break out of this drama triangle because it just goes round and round and round, and it's not healthy for anybody. So go through the parts and what they look like. So the victim, when you're in that victim mode, it's all about, why me? Why? Poor me. Life is happening to me. I am powerless. That's what the thoughts are that are going on in our heads, right? And then the feelings that go along with that is a feeling of being helpless, right? Of hopeless, discouraged, I've been victimized. And then out of that, remember, we've done the nonviolent communication where we know that our thoughts, right, lead to certain feelings that then lead to certain behaviors, right? So they all cycle together. So the behaviors that come out of being the victim is being in a reactive mode. Right? We're not proactive. We're reacting to the things that are happening to us. Sometimes you feel like you want to give up. What's the point? Right? I'm always a victim of somebody or something, like life is out to get me. Creates distance between you and other people, and then you don't have energy for life. Because what's the point? Right? If you're always going to be victimized by somebody, what is the point sometimes of even trying? Then we have the persecutor. The persecutor's role, or how many of you have had persecutors in your life? Or felt like there were persecutors in your life, right? Things that were there with their thumb on you, putting you down. So the persecutor's role is about domination. The persecutor knows better than you. The persecutor has to win. And then the feelings that go with that is being kind of like defensive, right? Or on guard. You're self-righteous. This is the person who'd rather be right than be happy when we're in that persecutor mode. Feeling discounted sometimes, so they lash out at other people. And then the behaviors that go with that is domination, control, blaming, criticizing, exerting power over other people. Anybody experience that? Yeah? Okay, very good. We're human, right? Yes. And then we have the rescuer. We have the rescuer whose role is to be the savior. The savior. And sometimes we're the ones being the rescuer, feeling like, well, if I'm good enough, then I'll be worthy. And from that one-up place, You're also looking at people feeling sorry for them. That's what the rescuer feels, sorry for people. Like they're the ones that have to fix things. Helper people like myself. I can fall into this rescuer mode very, very easily. I do it often. That's why I teach this stuff. So the feeling of the rescuer, they fear not being needed, sometimes feeling like they're superior to the victim, again, feeling sorry for people, like I have something you don't have, so I'm here to fix you, make things better. There's nothing wrong with that, right? Because we're empathetic people, we feel for other people. You want to, we get uncomfortable, we feel bad when other people feel bad. If you're an empathetic person, you want to fix it. That's what I tell myself anyway. All right. The behavior is to jump in to save the day. What that does often is foster dependency on others, or others feeling dependent on you. Sometimes the rescuer lies to protect others. Sometimes that happens. Also, they might shield others from the consequences of their actions. Another way we say this, codependency. Right? I'm seeing the nods. So you all know this. We know this triangle very well. I went to see Superman yesterday. Did you see it? Not yesterday. Okay, all right. I'm not going to go into my whole review of the movie, but it did have all of these elements, right? There was the victimization, there was the persecutor, right? The bad guys, and then of course everybody's looking for Superman to save me. I like whole countries, all of these people like, I need a savior. Like this is the way of the world, right? There are people who are feeling victimized. They're looking out at all of those enemies, all those people who are against them, and waiting literally for the Savior to come back and fix everything. Yes? All right, so that's the paradigm that needs to shift because it's not working. It probably never has, but truly it does not honor who we are as spiritual beings, and it's not the truth of who we are. So I told you there's several different models that have come out of this work of the dreaded drama triangle. And the one that I like the most is this one, the empowerment dynamic, which is by a gentleman named David Emerald, who has a book also by the same title, TED, the empowerment dynamic. Yeah, that's what it stands for, TED, the empowerment dynamic. Okay, so the way the shift works here is that the victim, to break out of that dreaded drama triangle, the victim becomes the creator. The creator. And that is the biggest shift that there is. I tell you, on the spiritual path, when you move from being a victim to owning yourself as a creator, everything changes. And then the persecutor becomes a challenger. They're not out to get you. They're out to make you stronger, to make you better, to make you wiser. Even if they're not doing that intentionally, that's what life is giving you, right? It's like building that muscle with the challenger. And then instead of having a rescuer, you have coaches. You have people who are here to help you through your situation, get you out of that drama. Make sense? So let's break down these parts. The creator then, the thought of the creator is not that I'm a victim, but I'm at choice. We may not be responsible for the hand that we were dealt. You get handed you're playing cards, you get a hand, you're not responsible for what you get. You are responsible for how you play it. Right? And that's where our power is in the choices that we make with the hand that we are dealt and the circumstances that are put before us. So the creator knows that they are at choice. The creator has a growth mindset and focuses on what it is that they are creating, not on creating more drama, unless that, sometimes people are trying to create drama, right? But that's not who we are. That's not what we want to do as spiritual beings. We're breaking out of that. The feeling of the creator then is hopeful, energized, inspired, resilient, and then the behaviors also are going to be different. The behavior is going to be more of an action-oriented. And I love this word solutionary, right? Looking for possibilities, looking for solutions, looking for how we can make things better. And taking responsibility, moving toward growth. That's the creator. Then we have the challenger. The challenger. For the challenger is looking at things at unfolding as their own pace, at their own pace, not trying to make things happen, right? But affirming that this is how life is and let things unfold at their own pace. You can do it, and trusting the process of life. The feelings that go with that, feeling of self-awareness, of empowerment, being value-centered, confident, direct, and clear. And then we have the behaviors that come out of that. The challenger then is encouraging action, focusing on improvement and growth, and holding themselves and others accountable. There's that word, accountability, right? Taking responsibility for what there is and taking the appropriate action, right, to make things right. Then we have the coach. We have the coach. So the coach's thought is that people are creative and resourceful. I trust others and their abilities. They are compassionate, engaged, reflective, supportive, not attached to the outcomes. And then they are self-reflected, using positive inquiry, empowering and developing, and also encouraging and providing positive reinforcement. So myself as a minister, people very often want to put me in that position of the rescuer and the savior. Don't do that to me. I do not accept that. I mean, you can do it, but I'm not gonna play along. I'm not playing along. So the way I see my role as a minister, someone comes to me and they have a situation, I'm not here to fix your problems. I'm not. What I'm here to do is to hold up a mirror and to do some inquiry with you so that you can find the answers to your own issues, right? Because I don't have the answers for anyone else. I barely have my own answers. How could I know what someone else needs in their life? We are each the best experts of our own lives, our own existence, right? So my job is not to fix you. I will ask you a lot of questions, right? But I'm not going to give you the answers because I don't know them for you. I can't know them. My job as a minister, I believe, is as a coach. So are you following this? Do you need some more examples? So how this can work, let me go back here. So this weekend, for example, Friday, our water had been strange at the house, like the water pressure wasn't working really well. And my husband finally took a walk around the house Friday and found that there was water spewing from like where the water comes in, there's the shutoff valve that comes to your house. So the point just after where the county is responsible, where we are now responsible, was where this leak was. Spewing water all over the place, had to be shut off. And of course, I don't know if y'all know when you call a plumber on a weekend, $300 an hour. They charge you in 15-minute increments. Came out Friday night, said, it's too much. We're not going to be able to do this tonight. Comes out Saturday morning. Meanwhile, we're without water. And feeling a little victimized. Why me? Why me? I'm already a little strapped here, right? And now we need this. So he comes and he fixes the situation, and I had talked myself through it because I'm teaching this stuff, right? I'm not going to be in the victim mode. I'm going to see this as a life challenge that is going to make me stronger and better and wiser. So it wasn't a person that was the persecutor. It was the leak that was the persecutor. Yes, so I switched it up, right? What can we learn here? I'm going to make it a challenge. And so I was really in a pretty good mood. My husband was still a little worked up, but I was great. And the gentleman came in with his invoice, and I was all smiles until he gave me the price. Oh, $300 an hour, 3 hours worth of work. Do the math. Yeah, so Anyway, again, I was feeling in that mode. But because I was teaching this today, I could keep myself a little more elevated and start looking and say, I wonder how Spirit is going to reimburse us that $872.30, to be exact. It doesn't always go that way for me, right? Sometimes I stay in that cycle. Um, Maybe it's 10 times that, right? Won't that be nice? When I So you see that any a circumstance can be your persecutor slash challenger, right? Any situation can be that. And then the shift, when it happens on two levels. Inside of yourself, like you're seeing yourself perhaps in these roles of victim and persecutor or rescuer slash savior, or you're looking at the world in that way and relating to the world in that way, and the world relating to you. Is this making sense? I know there's a lot here, and I want to make sure that I'm expressing it clearly for everybody. So then, how do we facilitate the shift? That's the big question. How do you go from victim to creator, especially when that's what you're used to? And I'm pretty sure we've all, on some level or another, growing up in the culture, in the world, in the society that we're in, that is the paradigm of that drama triangle. So it can be really hard to break out, be really difficult. So how do we facilitate that shift go from victim to creator? So the theme is you go from reacting to choosing. And y'all know my favorite quote, right? Between stimulus and response, there is a space. And in that space is our power to choose our response. And in that response is our freedom and our growth. That's Viktor Frankl. So we want to move from reacting to choosing. And that means sometimes the thing happens and you have to stop and take a breath and breathe real deep. And sometimes the space between what happens and what you do about it, maybe it's 5 minutes, maybe it's 5 hours, maybe it's 5 days. But you take what you need so that you can make a response and not just blow off, not just react. Right? Is that helpful? Okay, so we accept and acknowledge our innate creator essence. And I love this idea. A seed has an essence, right? As Donna said this morning, the seed, the oak tree has an essence of oak tree. That seed has it. When that seed grows, it's not going to be anything but an oak tree, right? When a rose blooms, it's not going to be anything but a rose. A tulip, nothing but a tulip. We are, each one of us, the essence of us as human beings is creator. We are always creating. From the time we are teeny tinies, from the time we are babies, it is our essence to create. The Bible says that we were created in the image and likeness of our Creator. It doesn't mean we look like God. It means that we are spirit in expression and that we are each creative beings. So we need to take responsibility for what it is that we are creating and how we express our essence. Make sense? So here are some affirmations. I am whole, complete, and enough. Right? If we could all say that. I am whole, complete, and enough. Enough. You have everything. I know this about you. I know this not just as a coach, as a fellow human being, that you have everything that you need to meet the challenges of your life right here, right now. You have everything. You have all of the inner resources that you need, no matter what it is that's in front of you. You know, I believe that about myself, and as part of the oneness, if it's true for me, it's true for you. I am responsible for choosing my response to life. Yes, Elaine. Yes, ma'am. Hang on one second. Let's get you a mic.
Thank you.
So before all of this can evolve, one has to perhaps buy into the process that we are co-creating in this world. So I would think that that would be the first step to, because that deals with personal responsibility and accountability and so on and so forth. So how do you move someone who does not understand that foundation to having an understanding of this?
Something just dropped into me to just say this when you asked that. Earlier, before we started the conversation, I invited everyone to release the breath and take the next breath. When you did that, you are co-creating with the breath. You're going to breathe. But when you take an intentional breath, you say, I'm going to stop, and with counting in your head and all of that, you are co-creating with spirit. That's the first step. Stop. And in the pause, allow your body to be oxygenated. You make better decisions from a clarity in your brain. When your brain doesn't have enough oxygen, your decisions are clouding. Take a breath. That's in the space. That's the first step. That's how we go. That's you co-creating with spirit. It's the most simple tool that you can use. That's one example of co-creating, the intention, and then moving forward.
Yeah, and I think the other thing is that we can't do this for anybody else. You know, we can't get anybody else to see it, to be it. It took me 40 years to walk into a center for spiritual living, right? Where I really got to do the deep dive into this work. So we can't do it. You know, I thought, I became a minister in 2015. We were in this same space. I thought, you know, it's just going to be a matter of months before this place is just busting at the seams, right? Because people can't wait to hear, you know, what we have to teach. But not everybody is ready to hear it. You know, people show up when they're ready. People show up when they're ready. When the student is ready, the teacher appears. And so it's a matter of time for some of us, and some people never get it. Some people never get it. You know, I'm here from a rescuer, from a former rescuer, a recovering rescuer. Let me say that. How many times I have tried to share this with people in my family, close people, to get them to understand. They're just not ready. They're just not ready. And all I can do is live my best life, right? Do me, and hopefully they see that. They see that example. That's what I tell folks all the time is like, be the example so that people look at you and go, I want what she's got, right? I want what he's having. Like, I want to live that kind of way, you know? So I'm responsible for choosing my response to life, and I commit to focus on continuous learning and growth, especially during challenging times, right? If we can spin our challenges and look at those as opportunities, like Spirit is here on your behalf and trying to give you that workout, you know, so that you can have and live the greater life that is yours to live. The reason that you're here. You know, the meditation we did last week, when I took you to the end of your lives, right? We all came in here with a purpose. We all have a reason for being. You know, you don't want to get to the end and be like, did I waste it? You don't want to waste your time, your life energy. So if you have a growth mindset, that is what's going to keep you on track for what is yours to do. Make sense? All right. Did I answer? Not really. No? Making the shift from victim to creator may be the most profound shift that we make on our spiritual journey. It's your nature to create and to express your inner essence. Every one of it. Each one of us, imagine yourself like a seed, and there is this thing in you that is bursting out, that has been growing, right? We want to nurture that. How do we do the shift from persecutor to challenger? We go instead from putting down to building up, right? From putting down. And, you know, I always tell the truth here. Sometimes it's fun to be the persecutor, right? Somebody hurts you, somebody pisses you off. You want to put them in their place. Yes? Or is that just me? That's just me. Okay. So, what's that? It's very often our first reaction. So I was thinking about other examples of my life of the drama triangle when I was in it, and there was years ago before I was in training to be a minister, or maybe it was actually just before. And I was working for a state agency, and I liked what I did enough, but it was like, okay, time to move up to something else. So I applied for a job within like the larger organization. And I had my interview, and it went really great. I mean, the woman loved me. It was like we just about had a start date. There was just the formalities of the reference checks and stuff. So I gave her a couple of names. One of them was my supervisor, and a dear friend. And so I'm waiting to start this job. She's going to give me the date and all the information. I don't get it. Like time is passing. Like, what happened? Something must have shifted. So finally, I call her, and she says, "Oh, we've decided to go a different way." Yeah, I'm seeing Cheryl's face too. I was like, "What?" I mean, I was like a shoo-in. This thing was going to happen. It was a done deal. All she did was talk to my supervisor and my friend. I wonder what they had to say. And so I was feeling very, very much the victim, very much. And I knew who my persecutors were at that point. And I'm going to tell you again, truth. I was so angry with this woman. I was in my mind imagining myself on the road, seeing her and running her over. My supervisor, I was that mad. If I see her, I'm going to run her ass right over. The two of them. And then the friend, I called her and like, what the heck? What happened? So my friend, before I was in this role, in this job, I had my own business. And I ran the business. And so when I left that business and went to this new job now working for somebody else, I still carried that kind of persona of running the thing, and I was not acting like an employee. You know what I mean? I was still up here, and they were looking at me like I was down here. And so I called the person who, I had the job interview with, and I said, I just really would like to know from my own personal growth, like what happened here. And she said, well, really, I'm the chef, and I am looking for a sous chef, right? You know the difference, right? The person who's going to prep and do all of that stuff and hand it off to her, and I don't think you're a sous chef. It's like, okay, all right, I can own that. I can own that. I still stewed in it for a long time. I was very angry about it, but then actually it wasn't that long, because a couple of months later, my aunt, dear, sweet, beautiful aunt, was put on hospice. And I then had the time, because my job, the current position I had the flexibility so that I could be there for her and take care of her. In other words, the universe was taking care of me. I didn't know it in that moment. I didn't know it. But it was the best thing, because there's no way that I could have done what I needed to do for my family in a brand new job. You can't take time off. There's not the flexibility, all of that stuff. So it worked out beautifully. But I was definitely in that triangle. And when I called my friend to ask her, what did you say? Like, what happened? She was so apologetic, and I don't know how I'm so sorry, and I don't know what happened. And then guess what I did? I went into rescuer mode. Oh, it's, I love you. It's okay. So anyway, that's my big challenge. I got to learn how to get out of rescuer mode. But let's go back here. Persecutor to challenger. Instead of criticizing self or others, we view challenges as opportunities. It's an opportunity. Life is about learning and growth. And these are affirmations that you can tell yourself. Life is about learning and growth. In the ever-changing uncertainty of life, I am steadfast in my values and my integrity. Earlier this year, we did a segment on values and how important it is for us to know what are our values, what is important for me, right? Not what anybody else's values, what are my values, and you stay to that. When life is swirling around you and tossing you in all different directions, you stay on your values and your integrity, and you will develop that essence in its greatest form. I acknowledge and speak truth without blame or judgment. Sometimes that's challenging for people, right? Because we still feel a little something, something. You know, you still want to be a little bit judgmental. You still want to be in the poor me. So then to avoid being seen as a persecutor to others, remember this is twofold. Sometimes we see others as persecutors. Sometimes others are seeing us as persecutors. Right? So how do we avoid, now there's no guarantees here, right? But the first thing is to view others as creators themselves. Right? I don't have the answers for you, but I know and I trust that you have the answers for yourself. And as a practitioner, I'm going to pray on that, and I'm going to hold that truth. Right? And maybe even I'll be a coach for you along the line. But view other people as creators. Stay open to new ideas and perspectives. Step outside of your own comfort zone. It's real easy when we feel like we're up here on a perch to look down on somebody else and say, well, I know how you should do it. And people don't like that, right? you don't like it when somebody else is, we get that sense, right? You know they're looking down on you. And we don't need, nobody wants that. Look at me, as another human being. So you stay open to new perspectives and realize that you don't know everything. None of us does. So we lean in and ask questions. That's how we find out. That's how we help other people to lead them to their truth. Step outside your comfort zone. Cultivate self-awareness. Stop for a moment and ask yourself, what is there for me to learn in this situation? Not just what is there for them to learn, but what is there for me to learn here? And then, this is so important in all of this, is to have compassion for ourselves and for other people. Right? Because growth, this whole transformation thing, is not easy. It's not easy. As Donna said, you go from the caterpillar to the butterfly, and there's that stage in between, that they actually turn into goo. I don't know. I can't imagine that feels good. I don't know. Who knows what a caterpillar feels like when it's going through this? I know that when I have been in the crucible of change, how painful that can be. Right? So we have compassion for ourselves and for others. Just remember, we're all going through it. Remember, and the last thing, you can't guarantee how others are going to see you. You could have the very best of intentions, and someone can still misinterpret you. Why? Because they're wearing their own glasses. They're seeing through their own lenses. Their view is a little bit warped or changed or colored by their experiences, and they may not be seeing what it is that you are offering. Make sense? Yeah. And we're all doing it. Remember that ladder of inference? There's what happened, and there's what we make up about it, and then we take action. Yeah. We're all doing it all the time. Okay, how do we go from rescuer to coach? We move from telling people what they need to do, how they need to change, all of that, to asking what's important for you. Curiosity is key. Learn to listen and discern options for action. Right? It's being curious. It's not, you don't take it personal, because it really isn't about you. It isn't about you. You ask the questions and you wait and see what comes. I have faith in the wisdom that lies in every human being. That's how we get to be a coach. I trust the discovery process. It's trusting life. is trusting life, you know? I think it was Albert Einstein who said, the biggest decision we make, one of the most important decisions, something like that, is do we believe that we live in a hostile universe or a friendly universe? People come in, you know, one of two. It seems, you know, to me, that's in my experience. It's people come to life with that orientation of life is against me and it's hostile, or life is for me. And we can cultivate that. We can cultivate that. I leave the power with others to clarify and claim what it is that they want. Right? So we don't get to swoop in and be the savior and get all the accolades. You just be here to be the coach so that they can find themselves and their way. Yeah? Is this helpful? Okay. So to prevent harm while helping, so-called helping, get comfortable with being uncomfortable. Now, the reason many of us rescuers want to jump in and fix things is because we're uncomfortable with what we're seeing in front of us. We're uncomfortable with the pain. We're uncomfortable with whatever it is that they're going through. You don't feel good, you want to fix it. But again, it's not about you. So we have to get comfortable with being in the discomfort of watching what is happening. Right? And knowing what's mine to do and what is this other person's to do. Okay? So, just to summarize, to move from drama to empowerment, number one, take accountability for what is yours and only yours. Right? Sometimes that's hard for us. Releasing shame, remembering that we're all just human beings on the path. Choosing with awareness and responsibility. Remember, between stimulus and response. Oh, that's the next quote. There it is. Between stimulus and response, there's a space. In that space is the power to choose our response. And in that response is our growth and our freedom. Okay? So, now I'm going to take you into a little quiet moment. Y'all up for that? To think about how this might apply. I know there's a lot of stuff. You all have the handout. I'm going to invite you to, take a situation when we leave here and break it down. But we'll do a little guided imagery first. So, let's take a deep breath. And maybe turn off the phone. I'm not sure whose that is. That's not mine, is it? No. All right. So let's just take a nice deep breath. And if anyone else has a phone on, just bump that volume down. And let's begin by coming into the present moment. Take a slow, steady breath in through your nose and gently release through your mouth. Another one, take another breath in and just gently release. Allow your body to settle in. Let your shoulders soften. Your jaw unclench. And just let yourself be here. And now bring your awareness to your inner world. Notice how you're feeling in this moment, physically, emotionally, and energetically. There's no need to judge or fix anything. Just notice what's happening in your body. Notice the sensations. And now I invite you to recall a recent moment in your life. Something relatively mild, where you may have found yourself in a place of tension, upset, or emotional reactivity. May have been with a partner, a coworker, a child, or even within yourself. Just let the scene come gently into focus. Where were you? Who else was involved? What was said or done? What role were you playing in this interaction? Step back and bring a detached curiosity to your inner state. Were you feeling helpless or mistreated as a victim? Were you blaming, criticizing, or controlling as a persecutor? Were you jumping in to fix or to rescue? Maybe avoiding discomfort, acting as a rescuer. Take a breath. There's no shame here. Just awareness. This is how we grow. Now take another step back from the story. Imagine that you had access in that moment to a wiser, more grounded part of yourself, your empowered self. How might a creator have responded in that moment? Someone who's focused on what they want to create instead of what's wrong. What might a challenger have done? Someone who holds truth with compassion while inviting growth. What might a coach have done? Someone who listens deeply, who asks insightful questions, and trusts others to find their own clarity. Now imagine responding that way. Feel a shift in your body, in your breath, in your spirit. Feel what it's like to stand in your own power without controlling, judging, or rescuing. This is the you that longs to express itself. This is the practice. Now take another deep breath in and release. Give thanks for your inner wise one. And let your awareness return to this room, bringing with you the insights, compassion, and clarity that came through. When you feel ready, gently open your eyes. Okay, we all back? All right. Why don't you turn to someone sitting next to you or near you and just share if there was any insight, anything that may have come out. Or just listen if you're not feeling like sharing, maybe the other person just needs to be heard. All righty, begin to wrap up your conversations. All right, thank you, partners. All right. And we're back. All right. So this is your invitation, right? To be the change. All of us. We talk about that here. We're not looking for for folks to change out there. We can't make that happen. We can change what's right here. And as we change ourselves, it's amazing how the people and the things around us start to look a little different, how those things start to change. Yes, in the end, we're all just walking each other home, aren't we? Yeah. So that's the beauty of spiritual community, is that we are all here with that similar, that desire, right, to be the best human beings, the best people, best spiritual beings that we can be. And we get to support one another in that, a spiritual community. And so I wrote a little prayer that if y'all want it, you can have a copy of it. But I'm going to close with that and then maybe just see if anyone wants to share anything with the larger group. We'll take maybe a couple of people. So again, just turn your attention within, take a nice deep breath, and make this your own. I'm using the I language, but I want you to make it yours. Hear it and make it yours. Beloved presence, infinite light that breathes me, moves me, and lives as me. I pause now to remember. I remember that I am not here to earn love, but to embody it. I'm not here to fix the world, but to remember wholeness, and in doing so, become a healing presence. I remember that the people in my life, those who lift me and those who challenge me, are sacred mirrors, reflecting where I've forgotten my power, my truth, myself. I release the illusion that I am a victim of circumstance of others, of my past, and I take up the holy mantle of accountability, not as burden but as blessing. Because when I own my choices, I reclaim my freedom. When I face the truth, I find my peace. I remember that peace begins in the body with one breath, one choice, one heartbeat in coherence with the divine rhythm. I walk this path not to escape the world, but to bless it, to bring light to shadow, to bring order to chaos, to be a living invitation to beloved community. I am a vessel of truth. May I be bold enough to speak, humble enough to listen, and brave enough to change. Let my life be a radiant yes to my soul's unfolding. Let me remember who I am and walk in that remembrance with love, clarity, gratitude, and peace. And so it is. Amen. All right. Let's see. We just have time for maybe a couple. If anybody would like to share anything, any insights with the group. Takeaways, insights, awesome.
I'd like to share. Yes. Hello, hello.
And tell us your name.
I'm Sam. And this is Amora.
And I'm
Anyway, I noticed that in this drama triangle that you can be more than one thing at one time. Yes. And I didn't realize it until this, but we have recently had a situation come up with some family, and I'm sitting here thinking about it and replaying it as you told me to do in my head, and I'm like, oh wow, okay, but I did that, and I did that, and I was that. So like, you can be all. You
Yes.
really can be all at one time.
Yes, we can.
But what does that mean for us? Like as far as in relation to the drama triangle.
Yeah. Well, we're all mirrors of one another, and we are all of it at the same time. And when we can't change it up until we see it and acknowledge it, right? Nothing changes until you see it, right? So that's the first step. Just keep playing with this stuff. This takes a while, and it takes a while to settle in. Yeah. Yeah. I saw Marcia.
It's got so much information. And
Talking to the stick.
yeah, it's, oh yeah, lots of things were stirred up, especially when talking about rescuer. And this is great. There's some new ideas on how to change that. But yeah, I've been aware that I've been rescuer most of my life. It's very self-damaging. Doesn't really help anybody when I try to rescue people. How do I know what their path is? I might give them a quick fix, but they're going to completely miss the lesson. And I have to look at things like that. And one thing that helped me to try to stop being a rescuer was realizing that compassion does not require sacrifice.
Oh, I like
Compassion does not require sacrifice. We can choose to, but and that was a so these are extra helps for me.
Great.
I thank you so much.
You're very welcome. Yeah. Let's see. Go ahead.
You're getting a double barrel today, Marcia and myself. I'm just flooded with so many ideas. that you shared, they seem like glimmers of truth I've experienced over my long life. And I loved how you used your instrument of self in revealing and manifesting, I think, authentically what we all have experienced. There's objective knowledge accrued from what this gentleman or other people have put together academically. But when you share it such authentically, it seems to adhere more to myself, I think, when I hear somebody else speak the same voice. And I was a rescuer, but I think that I don't want to, I tell people that the biggest lesson that I came in the healthcare, not that what I did was wrong in giving of myself to others, in rescuing them in many ways, it was the imbalance of not understanding
Yes.
that I had to come first in loving myself first in this equation. It's a given, that mutuality, that balance, that homeostatic essence of love.
Yeah, thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you for sharing that. And if you remember the empowerment triangle, the bigger end is on the bottom, right? And so those positions, the coach and the challenger support the creator, right? The creator's at the tip there. So there's not that imbalance. And I know there's a lot of helpers in the room. I know, and that is definitely my growing edge. You know, because you're right, there's nothing wrong with being a helper. It's a beautiful thing. But how do you do it with balance so that you can keep doing it, so you can keep showing up for yourself first and others? John had one. Oh, you're so welcome. You're very welcome. I'll take one more. Do you want to say something, John? You good? Okay, go ahead. Lori? And then we'll wrap it up.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that especially the rescuer, to me, was tied up very much with codependency, and that I had worked so hard on battling my codependency with my therapist that there was just a lot of like parallels there. And what really like kind of clicked for me when it came to that is you're uncomfortable with somebody else's emotions, and that's why you're trying to change the situation. You know, because before I was like, well, I just love so much, I just don't want them to be sad. It's like, no, do you not want them to be sad, or do you not want to experience them being sad in front of you right now? And then also, like, you're robbing people of their learning experiences and just realizing that what I'm doing is actually more detrimental than just allowing the person to feel their emotions and saying, hey, do you need anything from me right now? You know, instead of jumping in to rescue them. And she taught me, she was like, refuse to rescue, refuse to be rescued. And that really stuck with me.
Nice. Yes, yes. Excellent, excellent. All right, all right. You brought something up and then it left. Maybe it'll come back. Well, I hope this was helpful for everybody. Again, we'll be talking about this, variations of it throughout the month, because it's such an important thing to be able to take responsibility and accountability for ourselves. For ourselves. Yeah, one more. Go ahead.
Part of the Circle Up training.
This is a different angle on what I do in the Circle Up training, yes. And we're going to be doing that. I'm still working on the dates for the fall for the Circle Up training. It's probably going to be two days back to back, or we'll do it over multiple sessions, you know, a night. But yes, this is the stuff right here, right?
And that'll give us an opportunity to take
Yeah.
a deeper dive into all of the stuff that you did present and will be presenting.
Yeah, and it all kind of all ties together. You get to see all of the different pieces together in one time. So, okay.
So I was in this situation with a family member, and they're, telling me all their shit and complain, which of course affects all the neurons in your brain, right, Norma?
We learned that.
And so I'm listening and listening and listening, not saying anything. And then they jump on me because I don't say anything and tell them what to do. So it's kind of damned if you do and damned if you don't. So what do you do with that?
That's why you ask.
Worry about yourself.
Yeah, that's it. I do that.
And
There's a
the
great video.
asking. That's also about the asking though, because it's the questions that you can ask. When you feel empowered, like what can I do? You
There you
can
go.
ask questions.
That's great.
No, it's the right.
Let's talk
Yeah,
after
it's the right
service.
questions. It has to be the right questions, not just any questions.
All right, all right. And if that's right. Oh, yes. That is very true. You know, this stuff is addictive. This stuff is addictive. Anybody else like a little drama have liked in their lives? You know, we do, but we know that it's not good for us, like other addictions. So you have to get out of it. You got to get out of it. But we'll be looking at this from a few different lenses this month. So we'll be doing that deep dive right here on Sundays. All right. So with that, we'll go on to the next. There we go. Great. So this is the time when we get to celebrate our abundance and just give thanks for the center, right? You know, with generosity for all that we get here. I'm a member, as is everybody else here, and I have gotten throughout 20 years of being here so much that I can stand here and talk about this stuff. You know, when I used to just be in, why me again? Why do I have to keep going through this? Why do people always
And
shit
just
on
a
me?
little bit about the abundance piece, because this is something that I am, as a small business owner, I am working on the abundance piece, y'all, in making that whole thing happen while I'm in the systems and figuring this whole thing out. And what I'm realizing now is that as we are connected with each other, and this center, this building, this extended family space that we gather in, we just have to know that sometimes there's challenges. This is an older building and a lot of moving parts. If you have a home, you know how it goes. A lot of moving parts. And it's the generosity of this community, no outside help at all. The people sitting in these seats, when you give, just know that you're helping to support this extended family home.
We do. Here we do. That's
we
coming up
do.
next.
Yes. Yes, we have multiple ways that you can put your good into this space. And again, this is you activating your own good. I tied my 10% because I learned that skill and I use that tool. And I came from food stamps to where I am now as a small business owner. And I know that that is what got me to here. And I know that Cindy, as our inspirator, stands up here, takes all that time and effort and energy. But our center sometimes isn't honoring our agreement, and we don't pay this woman because we ain't got it, unfortunately. So here we are, being honest about it and coming to this point and saying, activate your good. If money is your challenge, speak to it. Talk about it. Look in your account and then give and activate your good, especially that which is holding you sacred and is helping your health and well-being. I stand here as somebody who uses a lot of indigenous natural practices because of this space. And I'm held by this wonderful person. So again, as you reach into your coffers, think about all of these things and activate with intention. When you put your money, if you wave your hand over that basket, you'll see some of us do that because we activate in different ways. Do that too. Oh my gosh. I know that's right. That baby said, yes, girl, ashe, ashe. Thank you. And so it is.
And so it is. Thank you, Donna. And so we say this affirmation together. You're welcome to say it along with me. It is the nature of life to give of itself, as it is the tree's nature to bear fruit and the flower's nature to bloom. It is my nature to share the gifts of my time, talent, and treasure. I participate in the divine flow of life, giving generously and receiving abundantly. I am blessed and I am a blessing. I am grateful. And so it is, and so it is. And so as, what's your name? I think I need a defrag of the brain or something here. They've got prayer requests that are going around also. So if you have anything that is happening in your life that's a challenge and you would like some extra prayer support, we would gladly do that. The basket's going around. And Dasha, to your question, there it is. We have a text to tithe. Once that number is programmed into your phone, you can just send the amount of money that you want to send just with just pushing the button on your phone. You go $20, $200, thousands of dollars, whatever you want to give. Or you can also donate at cslocala.org. All right. Very good. Thank you. All right. The Science of Mind magazine is out for this month, I believe. Is it out for August? We've got it for August. Very good. Available in the bookstore. Our newsletter. Thank you, Alore. Where'd Alore go? She disappeared. Oh, she checked. Well, our beautiful young lady who is sitting over here is the person who put our newsletter together. If you haven't received it, let Erin know. Are you keeping the list? Yes, let Erin know if you're not receiving it. If you want to be on the list, there's a sign-up sheet over there as you walk in the door. We should say a prayer over our giving, our offering. Another moment, turn within. As part of this power and presence that runs in, around, and through all things, that is all-knowing, that is abundant, that is life-giving, that is wise, I can speak my truth. I am just so grateful for everyone that is here, for all those that give to the center and their time, talent, and treasure to further this idea of a world that works for all and the vision and mission of CSL Ocala. I also affirm that if anyone is going through any difficult circumstance, that it is just that, a circumstance that is a challenge, that you will rise to the occasion and know that everything that is needed to meet that challenge is available to you, both inside, inner resources, and outer resources. And I give thanks for that. And I give thanks for this group of people coming together, for the love and the light that they are in this world. And I just pray protection over each one of them and give thanks as I release these words with joy and gratitude. And so it is. So it is. All right. And let's see what else is going on. I'm going to go through these quick because I want to get you out here in the next 5 minutes. Movie night. That is happening next weekend. And I think that date is wrong, I think. Is that right or wrong? It's right now, August 9th? Okay. It's a Saturday. Okay, it's a Saturday. All right. Dinner and a movie, the Think and Grow Rich movie for next weekend. So come and join us for that. There's also, dinner. All right, 50-50 raffle. Think and Grow Rich. Someone actually made a movie out of Think and Grow Rich, the book. Yeah, Napoleon Hill. So very exciting. Foundations class is starting tomorrow. No one signed up. Oh, push. Oh, bummer. All right, call. All right. Let her know. So Foundations class is where we teach the basics of the science of mind, which is what we teach here at Center for Spiritual Living Ocala. It's a 10-week class, $30 a session for the class, and it is 3 hours from 6 to 9 is when it was scheduled. So if y'all are interested in taking it, how many people do you need for the class to happen? 5 people. I know we have one. So if anyone else is interested, can we still make that happen? Talk to Donna. The classes are wonderful. They're a deep dive. I mean, Sundays are great, but when you take the classes, you really get to bring this stuff into your system, embody it. The dinner and a movie was 4 to 8. There we go, 4 to 8 next weekend. Taco bar. All right, so here's the class. What is that? That's next week. Surviving to Thriving. Okay. Thank you. Yes, I'm here all month. Just keep clicking through. I'm here all month. And then the 17th, there will also be a CPR class. If you want to get your certification, it's free if you don't need it. If you're in healthcare and you need the card, then there's a fee for it. There is a party, propagation party. We are starting a butterfly garden out here. It's going to be beautiful. Tiffany has put a ton of work into it. So that is happening August 23rd from 4 to 6. A lot of fun. Beloved community, that's fourth Sunday. Fifth Sunday, I'm just going to be here all month, okay? Just know that. Green Gardens, volunteering, there's always opportunities to volunteer here, whether it's in the garden or if you want to be on the welcome team or the admin team or cleanup, all of that stuff. This community needs folks to volunteer. Yes, John? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I think they're coming. I think they're coming. Oh, I know what I was going to say about Alore. There, thank you, Alore. Stand up so people can see. She puts our newsletter together. Yes, yes. Your comment about the not helping people when, like sometimes when we help them, we're not helping them. Butterfly. If the caterpillar in the cocoon, you see it struggling and you try to cut it out of the cocoon, you'll kill it. You'll kill it. Yeah, yeah. So, and yeah, you can't, it cannot happen before it's time. And it needs the strength to bust out. So thank you. I just remembered. And thank you. That helped me, brought me back. What was that one? Wish Upon a Wing. Also about the butterflies. You see these butterflies around the room. All of that is to raise money for the butterfly garden. I think they're just $1. They're on the table. Green Guardians, doing some gardening with our little folks, yes, to get the kids involved. Volunteer opportunities, again, scan the code, see Donna. Blessing our kids. Can we just bring Amora up? Oh, your kids are here. But we'll know. We're going to send love back there because they're not coming in here. Look at Amora. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine, shine. All right. We love it. And so we rub our hands together and we send some love back there to all the kids and to ourselves. We honor you. We see your light. May it shine on all that you do. And so it is. And our Grammy Pammy. Yes. Proud grandma, proud grandma. Yeah, yeah. Now I remember. All right. And our prayer for protection, if y'all want to say it along with me. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. And the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. And so it is. And I got you out right on time. Have a great week, everybody.
We also have, what's coming up is our teams. Can you please come see me over here by the richest man that we know? Just real quick.